Good morning, everybody. I hope we are all doing great. It's weekend. I hope you're enjoying your weekend. Here is TJ. Thanks for tuning in. It's a pleasure to have you. For today is what are the 4 things you need to do as a lady in waiting. So I'm going to always talk about everything with respect to God because I believe He has the best view for everything, the best opinion, and nothing can be added to it. Individuals can have their own view of what marriage is, but the person I believe who has the best view of marriage is God. So let's go back to the 4 things a lady in waiting has to do. First of all, I want to point out that the society has made the lady to feel insecure at 40, 30 years. You feel like you are way old and that your clock is ticking and you need to catch up on the clock, and that's the mindset young ladies past the 25s have out there, or at least not everywhere but in Africa. And I just want to clarify a few things. I want to say marriage is God's plan for humanity. Marriage is God's plan for you, and you shouldn't worry about being married at what age or not being married at what age. What you should worry about is, am I where God wants me to be, or am I doing what God wants me to do? Because if you're where God wants you to be, and if you're doing what God wants you to do, then you're gonna have the right man come into your life at the right time. So if you're convinced you're doing what God wants you to do, you're where God wants you to be, and you're 40, then go be rocking those 40s. Don't worry, enjoy your life. I know it's not easy, but I believe God wants you to enjoy your life at that 40. There's so much more to do, but I'm not gonna get into that right now. So let's go to our 4 points very quickly. The first point is get busy. Young ladies, get busy. Get busy at church. Get busy in your community. Get busy at work. Get busy at home. Get busy in your financial projects. Engage yourself in different projects. Travel the world. Discover things. Go to Dubai. Go to China. Go to the US. For those in the US, travel to Africa. Get an overall view of how the world is. Get to know people. Get to interact with people. You might never have that opportunity again in your life. Save some money. Save a lot of money. Work hard. At this point, just get yourself busy, and the more you get yourself busy, the less you're gonna have time to think about what you're missing out on, because you're going to be working on what you have at hand. The second point I would like to point out is to work on yourself. I know it's hard for ladies at a certain age to be working on their lives and still having their lives open to men. I mean, they want a man but they want to control. But at this point in time, I'll say, okay, if you are a lady way past the 30s and you feel like you're a self-made lady and you know you have an issue with letting a man in your life, then you need to work on that. That's one thing you need to work on. That some people think they are perfect and they are like, oh, I don't need to work on anything in my life. Nope, there are some little things you need to work on. The hardest thing is to identify them. Once you've identified them, you can set up practical steps on how to work on them. If you find it hard to lead people, or if you have some issues with leadership, you could be too bossy, or you could be this person who doesn't know how to exert her authority, in a balanced way, then go get a training on leadership. Just get busy with yourself. Make sure you're a good wife for Christ, really. Like, you get prepared and to be a good wife to somebody, not for somebody to be a good husband to you. I'm sorry if you're shocked, but that's the truth. So get prepared on being a good wife to Christ. The moment you learn how to submit to Christ, the moment you learn how to love Christ, to search his heart and know what his heart likes, then you'll be able to serve a man, be a good wife to a man, submit to a man. It's an important step not to miss out on. Thirdly, keep good men around you. brothers, brethren, friends, just make sure you select the good men around you and keep them in your circle. This will help you to have a touch of God's masculine presence in your life, and in that way you'll be able to shield yourself from falling in the arms of the wrong man. I mean, if you have an example of a good friend, of a good brother, of a good father around you, it must not be your biological father. There are fathers around that are just willing to have a lady they could take care of. Just identify them and give them the opportunity to reach out to you. And I believe if you keep the right men around you, you're gonna be able to make the right choice when Mr. Right shows up. If you have the wrong men around you, I assure you that you are already 50% sure of making the wrong choice, because that's what you know. So make sure what you know is what God has in mind for you. Make sure what you're used to is what God has in mind for you. If you get used to being around good men, you're going to choose the right man. You're going to choose a good man for yourself and for your future. And guess who is happy at the end of the day? It's you. Yeah. The fourth and the last is going to be checking out God's mind on what He has in plan for you and for your marriage. God has a particular plan, a personalized plan for you and your marriage. Get to search God's mind and start working on that. Read books, get yourself trained, do wherever you can do to get prepared for your marital life. Remember, the earlier you get prepared, the better you're able to tackle it when it comes around. So those were the 4 practical points I have for you, and I really want you to keep in mind, you don't need to put yourself out there. Remember, it's God who gives a wife, it's God who gives a husband. In Proverbs 18 verse 22, he says, he who finds a good wife finds a good thing and obtains favor from the Lord. In Proverbs 19 verse 14, he says, houses and wealth are inherited from parents, but a prudent or a good wife is from the Lord. It's a gracious gift from the Lord. You are a gracious gift from the Lord to a man. You are the prize. You don't need to put yourself out there. Remember, God made Eve for Adam and brought her to Adam. Just be doing what you were supposed to do. Be where God wants you to be, and I'm sure the right man is going to show up. And all you have to do is just say yes. So quit chasing, quit being pushful. Everything is going to turn out the way God wants it to turn out. I'm sure you're going to have a testimony at the end of the day. I just pray that God will bless your waiting. You lady that has been waiting, I pray God will bless your waiting and He will bring the right man at the right time for you, and very soon. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. I hope you liked the video. Please leave a comment. I'll be glad to answer or to read your comments. Either ways, I'm always glad to have you here. Take care. Ciao.